Hey, it's your boy Hendo checking in though, coming to y'all with another video, and today we got white supremacy. White supremacy. It's good to hear white people talk about white supremacy as a black person because in America, because you know, we always get this willful ignorance from them. Like they'll find any way to try to, what should I say, justify the treatment of black people, and they'll even try to gaslight. I think that's where a lot of black Republicans come from, is just the gaslighting from white people. They just fall into the trap because they fully go in like, no, nobody's treating anybody wrong. Everything is equal. And a lot of it is ignorance. They just don't know. They've heard stats from sources that they trusted sources, and they go with it. And a lot of it is just complete ignorance. I mean, a lot of it is willful ignorance. Like the whole Charlie Kirk thing, I feel like he knew the statistics that he were given were skewed and wrong, and he was doing it on purpose. And that's where I find evilness in the whole denying white supremacy thing. That's why I feel like it's always good to hear some white people talk about it, from because a white person watching one of these videos or coming across videos, they would most more likely be able to accept the information when it's coming from a face that looks like them. And that's not just them, that's everybody. We're all more likely to accept something when it's coming from our own people. You know what I mean? And that's important. That's an important thing for white people to be the ones to speak out on the problems that they see, because their people are the one perpetuating it, but not just their people. White supremacy as a system, anybody who adheres to it is perpetuating it. And it's also black people as a whole, we perpetuate it. And I'll get into that more in other videos, but this is just a quick reaction, so let's go ahead and get into it. I want to thank y'all for coming to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. I want to let y'all know I truly appreciate you for checking in. And yeah, let's get to the video.
Most white folks don't have the stomach to say the truth out loud about race, so I'm going to do it for you. Racism ain't a touchy subject if you're not fucking racist. If the truth makes you feel attacked, you're probably protecting a fucking lie. You wouldn't trade places with a black man for $1 million, and you know exactly why. Our fucking racism. If you're staying neutral while a man gets done wrong, you're just helping the fucking bully. Saying you don't see color just means you're too scared to see the fucking truth. If you gotta keep a man on his knees just to feel tall, you're the weakest man in the whole goddamn room. Bragging about a win in a rigged race don't make you a winner. That just makes you a fucking cheater. They taught you to hate your neighbor so you wouldn't notice they're picking your fucking pockets. That's a goddamn truth right there.
Facts, bro. They taught you to hate your neighbor so they could pick your fucking pockets. Like, that's the problem today, and that's what we're going through. That's why we need to get back to I think a lot of white people, if they realize that, we can have this class consciousness coalition where we all get together and go after these millionaires and billionaires, and make them change the laws. No, I'm not paying road taxes. I already pay you taxes to keep the road going. Why do I need to pay a toll? You know what I mean? Well, no, I'm not paying $500-600 for fucking to register my car. I just paid for this car. I'm saying registration, maybe not that one, but you know what I mean. Like, we can all get together and make this world a better place for all of us. We can't, because we got a lot of stuff going on and a lot of BS going on that's holding us back, like the racism. If we do that, we can realize that we're all one race, we're all the human race, and we can go from there, bro. But until then, we'll be stuck in this perpetual cycle of BS.
Your comfort is a bill that someone else is paying with their fucking life. This ain't casual racism. It's fucking real. White supremacy is sinking the whole damn boat just to watch your neighbor go under while you drown with them, motherfucker. White supremacy is burning your own goddamn house to the fucking ground just to make sure your neighbor stays cold. As white people, we have a choice to make. We can find our soul, or we can keep the lie. But we'll never have both. Ever.
Credit goes to the original creator. Thank you for the clip.
It cost me followers, and if it does, I'm okay, because I know I've lost the right ones. In 2024, if you don't understand that white privilege doesn't equal financial privilege, there's a good chance it's because you choose to be willfully ignorant. White privilege doesn't mean that you grew up rich or that you didn't have a hard life. It's the concept that by the mere coincidence of you being born white or white presenting, that you have an inherent privilege. You're afforded certain benefits of the doubt that not everyone gets. It's the difference from a white person walking into a store and a customer salesperson walking up and saying, "Hi, can we help you find something today?" To a black person walking in that same store with that same customer service person following them around because they looked kind of suspicious. It's the black family that can't leave their family photos hanging on the wall when they're selling their house because the home appraiser might undervalue their house by as much as $500,000. And for fuck's sakes, you've never had to apologize for being white. Had your parents fucked on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday, you wouldn't even be you. Rather,
And that's it. None of us choose to be born the way we're born. None of us choose to be born who we are. We just are born who we are. So getting on somebody or mistreating somebody because the way they are or the way they were born or something that they cannot change is just wrong. But on top of that, we also got that she's like pretty much saying like, if you don't get that, like, no, if you don't get that, you just don't want to get that as a white person. Because I can understand the initial pushback to like, oh, you're white privilege, and you're like, there was nothing privileged about my life. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I can understand that initial pushback to the idea of having white privilege, but once it's explained to you, and at that point you know what you're doing. You just want smoke. You know what I mean? You just don't give a fuck. You want to uphold the system of white supremacy, and that's why I feel like a lot of these motherfuckers are. That's what I was speaking on in the beginning of the video, is that like people be weird, bro. Like a lot of these motherfuckers, they know what they're saying is wrong. They know that the facts that they're giving are skewed, but they'll still give them. They'll still spew it out because it stands for, if anything other than that, stands for the decline of whiteness, and they don't want to see that.
just acknowledge that the system that was designed by and for people that look like you has never been a level playing field. I hope this made it clear. Have a great fucking weekend.
There was a controversy about some of my content recently, so I would just like to take this as an opportunity to formally double down on exactly what the fuck I said the first time. Because a lot of conservatives have been trying to cancel me, which is so funny because I don't care what they think. Because they're like, it's so offensive of you to say that you don't care if whiteness goes extinct, or if every single person on the planet is brown or black, you don't care. No, I don't care at all, because I don't inherently think that whiteness is better than any other skin color.
Is there anybody that finds it hard to believe white people with that sound like this, bro? Is there anybody that finds it hard to believe white people who sound like this, bro? Like, it's weird. Like, it just comes off as like, yeah, I don't inherently think white people are better than anybody on the planet. I would love to see my whole race get exterminated. I mean, of course not my mom. Hey. Of course not my mom and my family, but everybody else. It just don't be sounding genuine to me, I swear to God. But I still give them credit for speaking out.
I mean, that I want white people to be killed off? Absolutely not. I mean, you have to keep in mind my family is white. A lot of my childhood friends are white. I am white. Do I care if in 50 years every single person on this planet, except for a few of us, are brown or black? No, I don't. Because there is no inherently superior race. Blackness or brownness or whatever, it's all arbitrary. And so I don't care if, as a quote race, white people go extinct, because it will not affect the world in any capacity. Well, it actually might make things a bit better, because white supremacy wouldn't exist if white people don't have the authority and numbers to reinforce a violent upper social class. Yeah, so I'm gonna double down. Goodbye!
Credit goes to the original creator. Thank you for the clip.
White supremacist alert.
Loud and obnoxious. I like music that rhymes. I'm 13% of the population and I commit half the crime. Who am I? The people who twerk on tables at nice establishments.
When I said that Africa has looked the same for 200 years, obviously that's closer to 2000. I was trying to be generous and grant them some leeway, but mud huts. Innovative. And then, no, I will never go to Africa unless someone pays me to go. Even then, I don't think I would. I would have to get a bunch of vaxes to go over there because it's disease central and I don't get vaccines. Second of all, the only thing appealing in Africa is the wildlife, but I could go to the zoo. Or Memphis.
Notice Dusty didn't bring up Memphis. I know she didn't. She was cool when she was going on the African tangent. I was like, but when she want to bring up an American city, fucked up. You old fucking thin lip, pasty white, fucking frail, fucking. Didn't we accept the gingers? Didn't we just give them the ginger title? That's why we gotta stop accepting niggas. Cause this bitch right here, you know what I mean? We try to be cool, we accept them into the fray, and then motherfuckers like this come along. This would always happen to black people. But anyway, on a serious note though, this is why we need our own social media. Because they allow videos like that to be up and running. Which reminds me of like when Sneeko and Andrew Tate and all them niggas went to the club and they was talking about they was playing the Hell Hitler song or whatever. It's like, bro, for real? And the Jewish people got them put out of Miami, a whole city. Like got them put out of a whole city. Meanwhile, you could be online, say whatever you want about a nigga, and it's fine. You know, they'll let you keep your channel, your page, stay monetized. But let me get online and start talking about them people or any other people. Let me get disrespectful. They gonna take that, like for a nigga, we are the most disrespected people, but the most influential people in the world, which makes no sense. It's like they hate us because they ain't us. We need our own social media. Why we got all these $1 million rappers, but ain't none of them doing shit for the community? The least you could do is create a social media. Video on black social media coming soon though. We gonna get to that because nigga.
Monsters are superior to any other color of monster. All the other flavors are inferior to the white monster. This is about energy drinks.
Apparently, if you do all these things, you're a white supremacist.
Here are 3 white supremacist ideals that most white people don't realize they're supporting. Number 1, refusing to date outside of the white race. While this seems inherently white supremacist, a lot of people don't realize that that's why they're doing it. They're just like, oh, I want to date within the race because they have similar background to me, or because I was raised around white people, so I'm attracted to white people. And they really don't realize the extent that white supremacy is playing into their dating ideals. Especially the fact that there are billions of people who don't have white skin in the world. They would be attracted to at least a few people, but they won't even consider it because of white supremacy.
No, attraction isn't a political ideology. You don't get to choose who you're attracted to like it's a ballot. It is true, most people do date within groups that they're around. That's not supremacy though, that's just proximity. And plenty of white people do date outside their race. And plenty don't. Neither of which makes you a white supremacist. It just makes you human.
Yeah, she's right. It's not racist to not want to date outside your race, but it is racist when you're doing it for racist reasons. The second thing is, my gene pool is strong enough to date outside the race. I'm just creating more little nigglets, even though they might be a lighter skin than me. Yours isn't, though. Yours isn't. Great white replacement theory coming.
Number 2, the way that white people talk about sports, especially black athletes, is very concerning. They refer to them as more than human or having these extra insane ability. That clearly seems like it's coming from a white supremacist mindset. Just listen to the way a lot of white people talk about Serena Williams as having an unfair advantage over the white women she's playing against.
So now complimenting athletic excellence is racist. Literally look at the NBA. Look at elite sprinting. Look at football. Representation does not lie. Acknowledging dominance in a sport is not dehumanizing. It's literally how sport analysis works. Saying Serena Williams is dominant is not white supremacy. It's reality. She's amazing. And fun fact, nobody is calling for DEI quotas in the NBA because everyone suddenly agrees that merit matters.
If you take a look at sports as a whole, the whole draft system is set up like a slave auction. It's a bunch of rich white fucking owners vibing to get you on their team, paying to get you on the team, signing you to a contract, signing for the rights to you as a black man. And that's why they ain't calling for DEI quotas in there, because they know, first off, the sport will be garbage without any black people in there who will want to watch it. Very unentertaining. Second off, why? Why would we call for DEI quotas? Because at least 70% of the NBA will be gone. You can't call for DEI quotas. And that's a good point. They should call for it. If you want to do DEI in one situation, do it in all. Take all the niggas out of sports too. They ain't getting in there off their merits. You know what I mean? If that's the case, DEI, white people are DEI hires in the NBA, NFL. Nah, that's probably a little too far, but y'all get what I'm trying to get at.
And number 3, refusing to live in a city because it's dangerous. A lot of white people are terrified of cities, but it can't be ignored that that's where a lot of people of color live. That's where diversity is. And whether they realize it or not, their fear of these cities is largely rooted in racism. It just is. Let me know your
Or hear me out. People look at crime statistics and make decisions. That's not racism, that is risk assessment. Plenty of people of all races avoid high crime areas, including people who literally grew up there. Saying crimes exist is not the same thing as saying people are bad. It's saying conditions matter. Numbers aren't racist. I know, according to the left, they can be a bit homophobic, but they're not racist. Not everything is white supremacy. Not every preference is hate. Not every statistic is an attack. Sometimes it's just reality. And reality does not care about your buzzwords. Because if everything is white supremacy, then nothing is.
Credit goes to the original creator. Thank you for the clip. I want to thank y'all for coming to the channel and enjoying this video with me. You know, whatever she was saying at the end right there, I didn't get what she was trying to get at. Everything is white supremacy if nothing is, or nothing is white supremacy if ever. What the fuck are you talking about? White supremacy is a thing, and no matter what you say about it, you're not going to get out of it. Second thing is about what she was saying is about white people not wanting to go to the inner city. Yeah, I want to stay out the hood too. People don't want to go to the hood. There's nothing racist about wanting to stay out of the inner city. I was living up north recently in North Dakota, and I noticed a lot of older racist white people were pretty much like, I would never go to California. I would never go to any of those liberal states. You're holding yourself back from a lot of beautiful, beautiful places in the world because you don't agree with some of the politics there. And a lot of the people there agree with you. Some of the people there might agree with you. There's a whole group of you. Not everybody in that state is like that. And that's what makes it racist, when you let your ideals decide where you can go, where you can be, who you can be around. Like, yeah, it gets too deep when you niggas you take it too deep to heart. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't get caught in California. Why? But anyway, I appreciate y'all. My son is starting to trip, so I'm gonna go ahead and go take care of that. Thank y'all for checking in. Like, comment, subscribe, hype this video if you can. Good looking out. I'm out.